Good evening all, and welcome to your penultimate orientation session here at the Kaiju Defence Force. We have no time to waste, so allow us to begin on a rather anomalous specimen, Knife Fang. I implore you get comfortable, as this kaiju has quite the lengthy origin. The folktale has it that, during the 40s, a small town in Utah was invaded by a masked criminal. They went through the town, killing and assaulting young people of colour and minorities. The folktale goes that the people of this town, outside the jurisdiction of any law enforcement, all banded together into a hunt for this killer. When they found them, however, the folktale states that the killer transformed into a kaiju and wiped out the people of the town, leaving it abandoned. You may notice that I've referred to this story as a folktale or urban legend so far, despite Knife Fang being a very real and active kaiju. However, we are unsure as to how they transformed. Some have suggested this is a natural kaiju with shape-shifting capabilities, as they have been depicted as a natural kaiju in ancient texts. Others believe it was a human being, spontaneously mutated by the plague, and others have pinned the site on mass hysteria, though even we at the Kaiju Defence Force aren't sure. We can however say with certainty that Knife Fang is infected, as we've seen it bleed. If you have not yet seen the recorded version of our first orientation seminar, I implore you to, in order to better understand the politics surrounding this next case, Terraformer. This kaiju is one of the prime examples people point to support the theory that Martians send kaiju to Earth in an attempt to terraform it. While other theories exist, this kaiju specifically supports this one due to its unique abilities. This kaiju's abilities include a thick, bacterial mist, controlling alien foliage, and burning acidic spit. It uses these abilities for what seems to be terraforming cities, spreading their alien foliage and flattening the landscape. This kaiju is also filled with chemical compounds that it spreads when injured, as if altering the atmosphere around it. So far, we've been unable to kill this kaiju, and we are unsure as to whether it is a singular being, or if the Martians have created multiple of this species. We will now discuss the third member of the previously studied Shadow Kaiju. As I said previously, if you have not yet seen or attended our prior two seminars, I suggest you do, in order to gauge a better understanding of the theories surrounding this set of kaiju. This kaiju is known as the Frost Shadow, and they seem to have the ability to draw in and condense water molecules around it, creating ice spikes and armour. As with the others, its physical form is made of a thick, toxic gas, though unlike the others, it is able to carry this gas in the wind in order to fly. Similar to the first kaiju we discussed today, this next specimen is somewhat of an anomaly in of itself. This specimen, known colloquially as skeletal, seems to share some relation with the aforementioned Frost Shadow. It appears similar to a humanoid skeleton with its gaps filled in by ice. The gas that spreads from it when it is injured, signifying its infection, seems to be different to others and have similar effects to the Shadow Kaiju's gas, specifically Frost Shadow. There is other evidence towards their connection as well, though for now we will focus instead on the connotations of such a relation. This would all but disprove most theories about the Shadow Kaiju's origins, on top of overcomplicating skeletal zone origin, as, despite seeming to be an ancient kaiju, it has only arisen very recently. Some others have theorised that this kaiju mutated from a human, though there is little evidence for this as of yet. This next kaiju is actually connected to the rather vexing Hercules. Years ago, Incomprehensivent, who we discussed in our first seminar, contacted humanity telling of a new kaiju threatening us. This was in 2001, 3 years into Hercules' rampage and prior to the emergence of the kaiju plague. Of course, given Hercules' activity, the Kaiju Defense Force were hesitant to trust Incomprehensivent, who claimed that all the ancient legends of Hercules missed out one key detail: his right hand, Drailgun. It was a second kaiju who naturally detested humanity. Their abilities included 2 reptilian mouths on their shoulder and tail, which acted as railguns, and enhanced senses, despite lacking any eyes and vision. When Hercules was imprisoned, Drailgun went into hiding deep underground. Incomprehensivent, with its 5-dimensional vision, was able to warn us that Drailgun was deep beneath Rome in Italy and was tunnelling up to the surface. Cautiously, we believed them and evacuated the city, which proved correct when Drailgun did in fact emerge. We were able to kill the kaiju, though it managed to kill Incomprehensivent in the process. This next kaiju is the first confirmed case of a mutated animal as a result of the plague in this seminar. Known simply as Scavenger, its behaviour is relatively unusual in terms of infected kaiju, as, instead of simply attacking cities in a blind rage, it arrives at the corpses of killed kaiju and scavenges food from them, similar to the vulture they mutated from. They don't seem to have any particularly unique abilities, however, simply incredible musculature and fight. Now, onto the final specimen for this seminar. This final kaiju we will discuss in today's seminar is known as Gigantotyrannus and is another candidate for the oldest natural kaiju. While we don't have much information on kaiju reproduction or how natural kaiju come into being, some people have theorised that this kaiju is the common ancestor of all natural kaiju, while others say it may just be the ancestor of a select few, such as Scavenger. Thank you for your attendance. Your final orientation seminar before becoming licensed operatives is in 1 week, so don't miss it. I hope to see you there.